Nicholas.
Hi, Laura.
Right, so we're going to start off with Le Figaro, the right-wing paper.
I can go directly to Le Figaro, and there we can see the headline, Competitiveness, Hollande au pied du mur. Now that translates as Hollande with his back against the wall. And the message there is that he must react. Now, what is all this about? It's to do with a report that is appearing today that's been written by Louis Gallois, the former EADS and French Railways boss. Now, he is going to be arguing for more flexibility in the labour market and lower state spending. Those are a couple of bugbear issues for the socialists. The editorial in Le Figaro today is saying that, well, Louis Gallois was appointed by the socialists and is himself to the left. So its message is, well, with that, the government, in a sense, is cornered. It must listen to what he has to say. It's saying there, you can see that editorial there, dernier arrêt avant le terminus, that this report is a sort of last chance saloon for the French economy.
OK, well, that headline in Le Figaro is echoed, appropriately enough, in Les Echos, the business newspaper.
Echo, indeed. We've got exactly the same headline. Look at this. Le rapport qui met Hollande au pied du mur. So there, again, Hollande cornered with this report, his back against the wall. The photo, though, is not of François Hollande, but of Louis Gallois there sitting behind Prime Minister Jean-Marc Ayrault. Now, the paper says that the main proposal, the main sticking point out of around 20 is the idea of cutting hiring costs for employers by 30 billion euros in France. The editorial in Les Echos is saying that while this report is of major importance, Hollande is not going to be there to address it. He is, in fact, at an Asia-Europe meeting in Laos. And basically, the socialist government, as it stands at the moment, cannot agree to this main proposal. However, it will go through the motions of embracing a lot of the other ideas, such as helping small businesses and encouraging stock market-based insurance and so on, things that are not so controversial for it.
OK, well, this story all over the French press today. It's also in Le Parisien aujourd'hui en France.
There's an interview with a top trade union official called Jean-Claude Mailly. There you can see him. Now, he's the head of the Force Ouvrière Union, probably the hardest on the left in France. That translates as Workers' Power Union. He says hiring costs are not the problem. The hiring costs in France are the same as they are, more or less, as in Germany. What France needs, he argues, is a focus on policies that can boost innovation and research to fine-tune industrial strategy. And he's asked, well, was appointing Louis Gallois a mistake? Well, he says, Gallois, he was an employer, after all. So reading the papers this morning about this issue, I kind of felt we've got the rumblings of some industrial strife coming our way.
We will have to wait and see, and we will certainly be covering the results of that report once it comes out here on France 24. But moving on to Libération now, the left-wing paper, they are covering a completely different story on their front page.
Well, I thought they would go for this today, but instead they've opted for the events in China this week. We've got the 18th Party Communist Party Congress underway. And there you can see the headline, Le Petit Bond en Avant, which is the little leap forward, a sort of play on words there of the great leap forward. Now, what we've got is a change of power from Hu Jintao, who was number one. He will be replaced by Li Jinping. And the new leader will obviously, with other leaders in the Communist Party, make speeches and so on. But for the Libération, what matters is that, in fact, this new leadership is as paranoid as the previous one. There you can see, in Peking, le pouvoir est pris d'une crise aiguë de paranoia. There's a kind of paranoid attack amongst the leaders, old and new, in Beijing. And what we've got is that pigeon carrier owners will be told to keep their pigeons in their cage, so anti-party messages cannot get out to people. And also taxi drivers have been told to keep their windows wound up, so people who want to spread pernicious anti-communist party messages cannot put them through the window. The editorial
covering all bases there, aren't they?
Well, it's a crackdown, I can say that, in terms of stopping people spreading messages. And there the editorial saying pivot. Now, why pivot? It's saying that, of course, usually at a time of an American election, everyone's eyes are on Washington and events in the United States. But what we've got now is, in fact, the events in Beijing, and this changeover of leadership is vital for the world, and we've got a pivot. We've got people equally attentive to what's happening in Beijing as to events in the United States, as the two world superpowers battle it out.
OK, well, thanks very much indeed, Nicholas, for that look at all today's French newspapers.